What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I decided that I would address all of your questions that you have for me. Ever since making my big announcement, I've gotten a ton of questions and I figured I would take one dedicated video to answer all of them. Really quickly, if you're not subscribed, make sure to press that subscribe button so you never miss a video. If you are subscribed, press the little bell and every time I upload a new video, it'll tell you what the thumbnail and title is so that if you're interested, it'll make sure and notify you so that you can come and watch a video. So you guys have a lot of really good questions. I'm gonna start with the first one. It says, I'm gonna play devil's advocate and maybe make a lot of people angry. You're not gonna make anyone angry, but you made it as a bikini pro. And did that make you happy? I mean, it's awesome. And if you think about it, a very minute percentage of women will ever make it there. But after the Olympia, then what? Is preparing for competitions for many of us an escape from real life? Maybe our calling is not to work out all the time and live an unnatural social media life, but getting back to nature and raising a family. I don't know, just a thought because I care. 1, thank you for caring. 2, I'm always open for conversation like this. And 3, let me answer it all for you. Yes, I was incredibly happy by working so freaking hard and finally achieving that pro status. That taught me so much that translated to the rest of my life. All the life lessons that I learned during that time have truly impacted the rest of my life. I learned so much through that time. Secondly, after the Olympia, you're asking, then what? This absolutely is a phase and a season of my life and one that I plan to live fully present in and just soak up. Because you're right, after Olympia, then it's going to be something else. This phase of my life and what I'm doing and achieving Miss Bikini Olympia, this is gonna be a stage of my life and a season, and one day that season will change and it will be over and something else will start. And maybe at that time, I'll be ready to start a family or I'll want to start a family. At this current point in time, I have no desire to start a family. If that changes in my heart, which I think it will with changing seasons and times and the right relationships, then so be it, and that'll be beautiful and amazing. But I'm not gonna try and rush to get somewhere where I'm not. Right now, this is not an escape from life for me. This is something that lights my life on fire. Every time that I go in the gym, you guys, I love training. I'm one of those people that absolutely loves training. This doesn't make me escape my life at all. It makes me want to more passionately live my life, so much more on so many levels. And not just that, but I see my ultimate calling as something so much bigger than this. That's why if you go back to my last video, I said this is a part of my calling. It absolutely is. Me achieving this level is just gonna be a stepping stone to the next things that I wanna do. It's gonna be a stepping stone to being an author and finally getting my book out, a stepping stone to the movie roles that I wanna land, a stepping stone to all these different things in my life that I know were meant for me. And I know that this is just the season and phase that I'm in and this is where it begins. So I'm confident in that. And I'm also somebody who does not love being on social media at all. I'm the person that if I'm with friends or if I'm even just throughout my regular day, if I catch myself on it, I'm like, put your phone down, live your life. I'm someone that, oh man, I love nothing more than to be disconnected from everything. Every chance that I get, you guys will see me disconnected from my phone. Every single chance that I can, especially on the weekends. If you guys don't know, Sundays, no matter what, I'm usually always unplugged. You can't reach me because I'm out at the top of a mountain experiencing nature. I'm all about being in nature and living your life in real life. So trust me, this is not an escape from my real life. This motivates and drives my entire life. A question to kind of go along with that is from Pain Free Kitchen. And she said, I would love a vlog where you explain your feelings on why you had quit and even made a few comments against bodybuilding to now finding your passion again. I think a lot of us go through phases of struggling with our thoughts on bodybuilding, and as someone who originally said she was done, I think you'd have a really great insight to share. So I love your comment. And first off, I would like to say that I don't see myself as previously quitting bodybuilding. I reached a certain phase, and because of how extreme I had to go last time, which if you guys watch my mistakes I made when competing video, I explain why I had to go extreme and why I had to continue competing. Long story short, I was contracted in and I wasn't ready and I was not gonna step on stage and be embarrassed. So I pushed myself further than I should have pushed myself. And learning now, I won't ever make that mistake and sign contracts before I'm ready ever again. But like I said, because of that, that's why I got to the unhealthy point when I got to the unhealthy point, I was like, guys, I can't ever see myself doing this again because of how low I felt and how unhealthy I felt, and how I was just like, I value my health and my balance. And even mentally, guys, I was struggling mentally through that last one. And the truth is, I just shouldn't have done those shows. I should have taken time off. And guys, just like I said in that mistakes video, time off is like the answer to most of your problems. After getting healthy again, the second that I like finally felt healthy, I was like, man, I can never do this again, because I couldn't imagine not feeling healthier, not feeling mentally healthy or balanced, or, you know, just living my life this way. I love this. And then that turned into like 7-8 months later, where I'm thriving, I'm living amazing, I'm more than comfortable. My body is shaping up like crazy. I'm a natural athlete. I've always been very athletic. I've always worked very hard. So my body naturally will be a little bit more leaner. And so my body is just naturally going to that state anyways. And I'm like, man, I kind of wonder what would happen if I was just really, you know, tracking my macros. And so I was like, let me just track my macros and see what happens. I start tracking my macros. I start following a dedicated program versus just doing whatever I want in the gym. And my body is just like feeling more amazing than it ever have. It reminded me of before I ever started competing, or even the first few seasons that I did where I took time off and I came back, and it just feels amazing, you guys. And because I felt so freaking good, I was like, my body is reset. My hormones have been healthy for a long time now. And not just that, but like I have so much unfinished business. Like, I think that it's because I realized that my body's in such an amazing state, and it never had to get there. And I realized that number one, I can promise you guys, I am never ever going to sacrifice my mental health or my physical health ever again. So you guys don't have to worry about that. Like, if I ever mentally, even if it's just mental, if I mentally don't feel like I have a good relationship with food, I will never do that again. If I physically feel like my physical health is going down, I will not do the show. So you guys have my word. There's a lot of mistakes that I made, and mistakes that I don't have to make again, and that will prevent those things from happening in the future. Another question again, asking about why I returned. So I hope that explains like the health side of it. And then just from another standpoint, after like feeling amazing, you know, I'm watching my old prep videos and I'm watching my videos, and I'm just like, I feel like I honestly started to become a little bit of a watered down version of myself. I've always been true and transparent, and I've always been myself with you guys, but I just didn't have that. I didn't have that fire, and I didn't have that passion, simply because there's so much left that I wanted to do there that I never got to do. So when I'm feeling good, I'm watching my old prep videos and I'm like crying, because it's like, I feel so connected to that, and I feel like that's truly me. And you guys, I understand again that this is just for a season of my life, and I think that there's so much unfinished in this season, and now I'm ready to return, and I'm ready to do it again, and it feels right. And you guys, I've always followed my heart, and even when I said that I couldn't see myself doing it again, I always said, but never say never. I'll always follow my heart, because I know that just like with anything else, guys, if my heart ever changes, like my heart knows. And it does. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but it knows. And like right now, I know that this is right. And I'll have to say, the first person that actually sparked my interest in going back was my dad. My dad was like, Emily, I feel like you need to consider going back. He was like, I know what it meant to you, and I know where your heart was, and I know that you're really comfortable right now, and you enjoy eating your pizza, and you like being comfortable, but like, Emily, it's truly you, and I want you to think about it. And I did, and I knew he was right, and I was like, dang it, because I was like, I like being comfortable, but guys, as much as I like being comfortable, I like being uncomfortable way more. Like, once I'm actually into it, and once I'm pushing hard, and I'm pushing myself past my limits, and I'm training hard, and I'm being the athlete that I was designed to be, like, I feel incredible. You guys, I have like such an energy for life that I feel like I haven't had in a long time. And again, like, this is just my outlet for it right now. That will change. And I know that later on, like I said, when I become that author, when I'm in the movie roles that I want to be a part of, those will be my passions and my fires and things. But for right now, this is that first stepping stone. You miss competition. Will you maybe do it again in the future? Girl, where have you been? Watch my videos. Paul, be your coach again. Yes, I have been working with Paul since February again. So yes, we're working together, and I love him. Isn't prepping for competitions really lonely too? Or does this fuel your fire so much it'll be okay? This is such a good question. So this is something that I haven't addressed yet. But in my announcement video, I shared a really, really dark moment that I was having with you guys, and I explained that I felt so lonely and so alone, and I kind of want to explain why and what changes I made and how I feel now, because I think it'll really empower you guys to take a look at your life if you're feeling that way too. So essentially, without even realizing it, the way that I created my entire life and the way that it ended up being was me alone in my apartment all the time, working by myself. So I'd go to the gym in the morning, and then I'd come back, and even if I had an amazing work day, I'd work all day. At the end of the work day, I'd get so much done. It's almost like I wanted to high five somebody, and there's no one to high five. As much of a leader as I am, you guys, I thrive with being with a team, and I thrive with other people, and I thrive in person. And I just realized that I had created my entire life to be online, and I created even my coaching and my training options and things that I offered was all in line. And I just realized that my life was screaming at me for a change. So the change that I made was I decided to offer things in person. I'm now doing in-person training, and you guys, I love training so freaking much. You can enter the little elf buddy meme right now that's I just love training so much. I love training, and now that I'm working with people in person, I love training other people and helping them showing them how to do the exercises correctly and helping them fire their glutes up properly for the first time ever, or just a competitor getting a really solid session in. I love it. I started doing in-person bikini posing, and I absolutely love doing that. I do love it way more than FaceTime, even though I do offer FaceTime. I'm doing my live event in June, which is gonna be incredible, and I'm gonna do some other things, but I've been integrated in-person things way more. And in addition to that, there's been just some other things in my life that I've felt really alone and isolated from. And I will talk to you guys about those changes soon. And those changes are going to be coming as well. But I thrive being on a team with people, being integrated with other people. And so those are the changes that I've made, in one-on-one training and one-on-one things, community events. I'm doing things on purpose to be in person with other people. And it's not just hey, I want to meet for coffee with other people. I want to work towards something bigger with other people. So that's what I'm doing. And that's what I'm creating for myself in my own life. You guys, I'm not gonna become Miss Bikini Olympia doing it alone, and I don't want to do it alone. That's one thing that I did my last prep. I essentially was just alone all the time, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for to be aligned with different teams of people that are gonna push with me and push for me and be a part of it together. And I'm looking for this togetherness in this team. I'm not looking to do it alone. So competition prep could be lonely if you create it that way, and I'm purposely not creating it that way. I'm purposely putting myself in positions aligned with people that are gonna push with me and be a team with me. A lot of people are asking what the new point system is, and that's something that I previously talked about, and how it kind of sucks because it feels like you have to compete all year long. And after learning more about it and talking to my coach about it, there is a strategic way that you can do it in order to qualify and get points for the Olympia. The way it used to work is if you got first place at any given show, you're going to the Olympia. And now you could get first place 1-2 times and still not possibly go to the Olympia. So it is much harder to qualify, but it is possible to qualify if you're strategic about the shows that you choose. I can't compete that long. I can't compete year round. So it's really important that we choose a set of shows that are pretty close together. This is a really good question. This girl asked, how long does your prep last, and are you going straight to a deficit? So yes, I went straight into a deficit as soon as I decided to start prep. And essentially what we're hoping to do is go into a deficit, get ready, and then take diet breaks, take advantage of refeeds, take advantage of maybe even reverse dieting. Goals would be reverse dieting into a show, meaning you're eating more calories going into the show. But we'll see. We just have to see how my body responds and adapt from there. Do you eat a lot of the same meals, and how is your cardio like during prep? Right now, Coach and I are focusing on more of a low to moderate intensity cardio. The purpose for that is just to minimize inflammation within the legs and really focus on training really, really hard and heavy. And yes, for my meals, I tend to eat a lot of the same thing. You guys see, I use Icon meals for my food, and then I cook my own oats. I have rice cakes and peanut butter and vegetables always on hand. Claudia asked, how are you treating this prep differently than before, if at all? I actually like that you asked this because I'm doing it mentally just without even trying, but I feel like in previous preps, The diet was, it got really hard, and then even when it wasn't hard, with my diet, it's almost like I would try to fit as much crap as I could in my macros because it worked and I still lost weight. And now the way that I view everything, it's like I want to put the absolute best fuel that I can so that my body is feeling good, so that I don't have to have digestive issues or bloating or deal with any of those things. I want my body functioning at its optimal best. So yes, of course, I'm gonna use macros to fit in things like hot pot chips on my refeed day if I want some of those, to like have those, or like string cheese if I want it. But like most of my meals are all nutrient dense, all whole foods, lean meats and proteins and vegetables. I essentially see myself as the McLaren that I want one day, and I've got to put really good fuel into that McLaren in order for it to run properly and go zoom, zoom, zoom. Everybody's asking when is going to be the first show, and I'm not going to announce a first show by any means because I am not going to step on stage until I'm 100% sure that my physique, my posing, and everything is a first place win. And that doesn't mean that I'm gonna go into that show with the expectation of I better get first or I'm gonna get first or anything like that. I understand the sport that I'm in. I've done 17 shows. You can go and have a first place physique and possibly get not such a great placing. I'm very well aware of that, but I haven't been my best on stage as a pro. I would say last time I was probably like 80% Emily as a pro, and no one's ever seen my best. I haven't seen my best on stage yet. So I'm gonna come in and make sure that I'm 100% on point. And if I'm not gonna do the show, and I'm not gonna sign any contracts until literally days before the show. Because I will not step on stage until I know with everything in me that I have the winning physique, whether I win or not, whether I even place or not. You know, it's a very subjective sport. So when I step on that stage, I will pose like first place. I will feel 1000% confident that I can get it. And if I were to get last place, I'll be like, all right, let's go. And I'll go on to the next show. This guy asked a question. Number one, are you natural? And yes, I'm a natural athlete. And then secondly, I just want to tell you guys up front, if I ever decided to take something, then I want you guys to know that you have my word that I'm going to tell you and I'm going to be honest about it. I think there's two types of people. I think there's one type of person who wants to see what I've achieved with really hard work and dedication and extreme excellence in everything that I do. They want to think that that's not possible for them, and they don't want to work hard. So I think some of them just want to write it off as something else. And two, I think the second group of people are people that are working so hard, practicing excellence in their life on a daily basis, and they simply just want to know, is that a realistic, natural goal, or is it not? And so I want you guys to know that if I ever did decide to do something, that I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest about it. You guys always tell me that you guys see me as the person that keeps it real and is honest with you guys, and I want you to know that that's never going to change. Did you have feelings of disappointment in yourself when you stopped competing? I was never disappointed in myself for stopping competing because it's what felt right at the time. So I would have never been disappointed in myself for that. I would have been disappointed in myself if I had just like given up on myself or like given up on my dreams. But I knew with everything in me that it was not right for me at that period in time. And I was open if that changed. I didn't know if it would, but I was like, I can't see myself doing that again. So I was never disappointed in myself, but I was disappointed that I had never gotten that opportunity to go chase for the Olympia. And so like being able to have the opportunity again is so freaking cool, and I'm so thankful for it, and I will protect it with everything that I have so that I can have longevity in this journey and longevity in this sport. Someone asked, did you always know that it would just be a break? You know what's actually so comical about all of this is in 2017, my entire plan was no matter what, I'm taking all of 2018 off, and in 2019, I'll come back and compete. And what is so freaking funny about that is as I got deeper and deeper into being off and into 2018, I didn't know that my health would kind of take a hit after getting food poisoning and all that stuff. I was like, man, I can't see myself going back to that. And then just the way that things changed and how everything changed in my life and how like it naturally just brought me back here. I'm actually like naturally following that plan, which is just mind-blowing to me. So I think originally this was my plan and I thought that the plan had changed and I was willing to follow that and not to step on stage again, but then it changed again and it aligned with my original plan. Do you enjoy or hate doing cardio? Hashtag week 2 or 3 of prep now, and I love cardio, but ask me when it's like, way later. Time to sweat and get my mind right. It allows me time to just like feel good. Like cardio feels really good to me. It's when it's like a lot of cardio that it's like drag and it's like, I said the main difference after summer shredding, since you're already in a fat loss phase, there's no difference in my protocol between summer shredding and after summer shredding. I'm in prep right now. But honestly, you guys know me, like my focus and goal is prep no matter what. It's just a positive that I'm gonna look and feel good at summer shredding. Hannah asked, how can your fans support you on this journey? Just come watch my YouTube videos. If you do watch my YouTube videos, give it a thumbs up. And I guess one ask that I would have is just share a YouTube video with a friend that you think is really impactful or really helpful. I think the biggest thing that you guys could do is just spread the word, and if you find any content that I have that is really useful, just share it with a friend. That's all I ask. Sydney asked, what scares you and what excites you the most about this prep? There's nothing at all that scares me I'm not scared at all about this prep. It is just pure joy and pure excitement and pure drive and passion and like fulfillment. And it's something that I'm so excited to step back into. So nothing scares me about this. I'm like literally so excited. That's going to wrap up this Q&A. Thank you guys. I hope I answered all of your questions. See you in the next video, and that's it. I have nothing else to say. That was a lot. Wait, you guys need a hug?